for the pledge.
Make it one off by itself.
Harold?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to continue us standing, please. I would like to have a moment of silence for Mr. John Joseph Latronica, who's been a family friend many, many years of mine and many others up here on this board. He has recently passed, and he is the father of our deputy and my good friend, John Latronica. We're very sorry about your father. A great guy. So if we could please have a moment of silence. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. This cold, blistery day. It's been really crazy, this weather lately. Jerry, good to see you back. Yes, nice recovery. Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
When's this stuff ever gonna end? Never.
No.
We need to get our military out and spray our area.
I actually have
Disinfect it.
2 people I know that have COVID. They're not in the hospital, but they have the symptoms, the fever, coughing, the sore throat, very tired, very weak. So it's going around again. What can we do? Okay, this is the Mahoning County Commissioners' regular board meeting, number 3. Today is Thursday, January 18th at 10:08 a.m. And we will officially call this meeting to order. Are there any public comments? No? Daniel?
I have none.
None. Me and Dan were on a Zoom today with our Records Commission.
Yeah, you stuck with me twice today.
Good to have. Okay, none? All right. With that being said, I'll ask for a motion to approve previous minutes of board meeting number 2 and approval bills for payment.
I make that motion.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Moving on, legal notices, number 1 and 2, facilities. Alan. Good morning, Alan.
Morning, Commissioners. Number 1 is for a statement of qualifications for architectural and engineering services, and this is for the law library.
Okay. Forgot about that. Thank you, Alan. And lead will be Senor Fortunato.
Thank you. Phil sent me a script to read. This is a request to release the funding of the City of Youngstown's match commitment of $500,000 to our 2022 lead hazard reduction grant. This will allow them to begin to spend matching funds after approval of this phase.
Thank you. Okay, motion?
Motion to approve legal notices 1 and 2.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Journal entry number 1?
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Travels, we have letters A through C. Recycling, Blue Vega. Who's not with us today? Okay, this is to attend the EPA work group meetings, Organization of Solid Waste Districts of Ohio meetings, Solid Waste Association of North America conferences, Association of Ohio Recyclers, Ohio Association of Litter Prevention and Recycling, professionals training in various meetings and conferences with our solid waste districts of recycling facility within the state of Ohio and Pennsylvania for the year 2024, estimated at $3,500 non-general. Okay, moving on, treasurer, Mr. Yema. Morning.
Good morning again. This is just my annual routine request for approval for myself and my office.
Thank you, sir. Okay, veteran services, Susan?
She's on mute.
Susan, can you unmute yourself? Thank you. Mute it.
Shoot that button. She's a veteran. She's good.
Susan, I don't think your audio's working. I'll do it for you.
Go ahead, Audrey. Thank you.
This is for Veteran Services to attend the 2024 NACVSO Annual Conference in Denver, Colorado on May 11th through the 18th, 2024, estimated at $16,000, and it's general.
What's that acronym for, Audrey?
Yeah.
National Association. And there's a
Veterans,
Veterans
Seniors,
Services
Officers.
Officers.
Probably Pat's.
We know that Susan
got
would
it.
know it.
Can't talk.
She said I got most of it. I just don't know what that is.
All right. Well, we do these every year. All right, motion.
Motion approved number 2, travels A through C.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, moving on. We have agreements, letters A through I, and we will begin with Convention and Visitors Bureau. Linda.
Good morning, everyone. Letter A is an agreement with AJR Publishing Crossings Magazine for 2024 advertising services. This would be for their spring and summer 2024 issue. This publication targets people living close to the US-Canadian border that come into our country for travel. Letter B is an agreement with ADRAC, and this is for distribution of our travel guide on a Northern Ohio interstate route. There are multiple locations here for a 12-month period. This total is $3,480, non-general. And letter C is an agreement with Great Lakes Publishing for 2024 advertising. Great Lakes publishes several different magazines, Ohio Magazine, SIP Magazine, highlighting the winery industry, Ohio on Tap, highlighting craft breweries, long weekends, and so forth. There are multiple publications here, and this is for an amount not to exceed $40,000, non-general.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Sanitary. Pat?
Good morning, everybody. Letter D is an agreement with EnviroScience for required testing at the Meander, Boardman, Camel, and Craig Beach wastewater treatment plants. This is for 2 years in the estimated amount of $13,200, non-general funds. Letter E is an agreement with Keeley Industrial Technologies for preventative maintenance services on the PSA skid turnaround at the Meander wastewater treatment plant. This is also for 2 years in the estimated amount of $32,820, non-general funds. And letter F is an agreement with Bezetta Tree. This is for tree and stump removal on an as-needed basis for 2 years in the estimated amount of $20,000, also non-general funds.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sheriff Joe. Morning.
Good morning, everyone. G is an agreement with Direct Homes, Eastern Ohio, to provide senior service program services in the amount of $27,500, and that's payable to Mahoning County.
Thank you. And Dan, Treasurer?
Thank you. I have 2 agreements this morning. One is with F&E Payment. That's for our check scanning equipment. It's our annual maintenance and service agreement. We do that one every year. And then the second one, Robert Half International, is an employment services agency that I use for temporary help during tax collection. You have already approved this agreement for me. There was an error in the execution of the agreement. So what you're approving now is an amendment to correct the error. No additional money. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Motion?
Motion to approve number 3, agreements A through I.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Appointments for A. Commissioners, we're appointing the following person to serve on the Western Reserve Transit Authority effective January 1st, 2024 for 3 years. And that is Mr. John P. Brown III. Motion?
Motion to approve number 4, appointments A.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Resolutions?
Motion to approve resolutions additions.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Traffic Canty?
Yes, resolution of awards 2A, treasurer's Danielle.
And the last time you have to hear from me today, this is, we had to bid out our tax bill preparation, printing and mailing services contract. So we are awarding the contract to the company that we have been using for the last few years. I'm very satisfied with them. They're doing a good job for us, so they'll keep the business.
If we vote no on that, does that mean they won't send our bills out?
Imagine that fight, you know?
Any bills?
Yeah. What do we call those healthcare holidays?
That's all.
Do we do that? All right.
Schools, DDL
Right.
have a problem.
Schools wouldn't be happy.
No, they wouldn't.
Not
You'd
at
have
all.
to put up guards around us.
True. True. Okay.
Motion to approve number 2, resolutions of award A.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Traffic Canty?
Yes. Okay, resolutions, number 3, we have letters A through J. And we will begin with Audrey, letter A.
Item A is a resolution to deny the annexation of 11.1315 acres of land located in Canfield Township to the city of Canfield. Some discrepancy in the paperwork, and so the commissioners were requesting that they deny it this time for revote. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jen, letter B.
Letter B is a resolution to
Joe.
appoint Art Conser as the county apiary inspector for 2024. Mahoning County has 150 apiaries through the county. And I'll keep going. C is a resolution approving the amendment to the MOU with Canfield Township. They want to add on Summit Drive, and there's no additional charge, and this is with the sales tax, the road and bridge sales tax. And D is also a resolution for MOUs for the sales tax, the road and bridge sales tax, sorry. Beaver Township is 269,445, and Smith Township is 105,2410. Thank you.
And
Oh, wait, one more.
letter E.
I didn't highlight
You're
that one.
doing good.
E is a resolution to direct the expenditures of some of the opioid settlement funds to the Mahoning County Mental Health and Recovery Board in the amount of $100,000. And that's
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Teresa, Coroner's Office, good morning.
Yes. We are requesting a new vehicle because one of our vehicles is barely functioning.
It's time.
Those Ford Focuses, man,
Yeah, they don't last very long.
no, they don't. That's all.
Thank you. Sure.
Teresa, I wanted to say something. You don't often get an opportunity to be somewhere, when someone passes or when something happens that your office does on a daily basis. And, unfortunately, I happened to be in a home when the coroner came to pick up someone that passed that was unexpected and relatively young, and, a lot of things involved. And I want to say, what an amazing job that you and your coworkers did on, the professionalism, entering the home and the things that happened, and, and securing everything to make sure that, that all avenues were protected or covered to, make identifications and things. And, and then bringing the family in to be able to, to pay the respects and things that you did. People don't, get to see that, and hopefully none of us, want to see that, but when it happens, there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that you and the rest of the people at the coroner's office did an amazing job. And I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank you for what you guys did. So
Thank you. I
thank
appreciate
you
that.
very much.
Absolutely.
Very much appreciated, by families and by, by everybody in the public. So
That's what we're
thank
here
you.
for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it takes special people to do that.
Oh, we're special, that's for sure.
Because I've witnessed it too, unfortunately, and it's a very stressful
Absolutely.
situation and the family doesn't know where they are, they're in shock and, you come in there and you, almost like hospice, you try to quiet everything down and, I mean, God bless you, Dave's right,
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, engineers, Pat,
Commissioners, letter G is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Rudzik Excavating for emergency repairs to a road slip on North Lima Road. In the estimated amount of $243,536.50. This is per the Ohio Revised Code 307.86, Section A2. These are non-general funds and 90% OPWC emergency funds. This is that section, Commissioners, near the Lake Evans Dam that we are noticing the road is sliding and is going to affect the bridge in that location.
thank you, Pat. That's a big deviation there. I seen where that road is sinking constantly, but you did do a good job repairing it before you're actually going to fix it. So,
Yeah, thank you.
okay, JJC.
Good
Ally?
morning, Commissioners. This is a resolution to terminate the agreement with JCS Property Maintenance for snow plowing and salt services effective immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Needed.
Sheriff, OMB,
Yeah,
okay.
Commissioners, I is a resolution in support of an application to the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice for a 2024 Recovery Ohio in the amount of $90,058.08, and that is with no match required. And J is a resolution of necessity to purchase two 2024 Ford Transit passenger wagons from 72 Hour LLC, doing business as National Auto Fleet Group through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract. That's in the estimated amount of $64,470.77 each.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, motion.
Motion to approve number 3, resolutions A through J.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati? Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. That concludes the business portion of our meeting. And for the good of the order and elected officials or department heads or anybody. No,
Everybody's just cold,
cold. I don't blame them.
waiting for the snow tomorrow.
Dave, Carol?
I mean, I look at this weather and the last few days have been brutal. But this, when I look at years past, the winters that we've had, and a lot of you might still remember that, we had snow and it was cold and we thought it was all right. Today I walked in the building and I told the one guy I saw someone walking down the street. I said, "Can't this be spring yet?" He says, "We didn't even get winter yet." You're right.
It's coming.
But it's been a good week for everyone, I hope. Stay warm and safe over the weekend. We are supposed to get hit with a lot of snow.
God.
Also, we've had a lot of good things are happening in Mahoning County. And the residents should be proud of what we've done with not only our department and my two partners, but with other office holders as well as our directors. So look forward to seeing a lot of good things coming down the road. And I'm just excited for that because I think it just makes Mahoning County the best county in the state of Ohio, in my opinion.
Thank you. Absolutely. Dave?
Yeah, I would like to also say that, the times, the weather, make sure that, you call your family. A lot of times people don't talk to their brother or their sister, or they don't have an opportunity and or maybe it's just the common, way they do things in their family. But, I remember my father-in-law used to always say to us before he moved in with us, he'd tell my wife, make sure you call me every night because the last thing I want to happen is to die and nobody know it.
Oh.
And he was older, and actually it got to a point where, And I can't tell you how many times I beat on his door because my wife would call him and he wouldn't answer. You know, he just didn't hear the phone. And one time I literally crawled through the bedroom window on top of the garage and to make sure he was okay. And I woke him up and, what the hell are you doing? You know, it was like, you know, trust me, you know, if you live with my wife, I better find out what's going on with your dad, you know? And, you know, God bless him. When one day when I went over there, he was sitting in the basement on the floor. He'd been washing clothes and fell down and he was laying there for about 6 or 7 hours. And so we brought him home with us and he never went back to his house. He moved in with us. So make sure you take care of your families or at least check on them. Make sure you take care of your animals. They can't take care of themselves. You know, it breaks my heart. I have 3 feral cats that I take care of and they're out in this cold, you know, and I can't get near them, but I've trapped them, neutered, spayed them, and I have igloos under my porch that they go in and they, you know, has that heating pad inside it, you know, that I make sure that they're warm and healthy. Feed them every morning and, you know, and then take the food away at night because otherwise I'll have like 6 raccoons, skunks, possums, everything coming out of Meander eating at my house. You know, so a lot of things going on when it reaches below freezing time that we need to do a little differently than we do in normal times. And one of the other things I wanted to mention is, you know, we've all been receiving calls and I'm sure Dan's office too, Ralph Meacham,
Yeah.
on property taxes, you know, and so it just goes back, you know, when you start that snowball rolling downhill, if you don't stop it, you know, eventually it's gonna mow you down, you know, and, you know, I looked at mine and my house value went up 40% from last year to this year on the reevaluations. And I understand, you know, when I said to Ralph, you know, that's crazy. You know, my monthly property taxes now are higher than my house payment ever was. So, you know, and you look at things like that and you say, you know, we're an aging county and there's so many seniors and retired people that, you know, and a lot of them, it started in Lake Milton when the value of all the properties went up so high because of the, you know, the lake and everything that happened. You know, people literally got pushed out of their homes, you know, had to sell because they couldn't afford the property taxes, you know, and so the thing that I harken back on and when you're looking at it is, you know, we look at the school funding, you know, and my wife and I have never had a child go through the school system, right? So I understand the value of having good schools and make sure that I always support the schools. But when you look at it and you say almost 70% of my property taxes goes to school funding, you know, and it's really difficult to continue, especially when more than 20 years ago, the court system said to the state legislature, you can no longer fund the schools on the backs of the properties in people's homes. You have to identify a funding method and take it off the backs of the homeowners. And to this day, more than 20 years, the majority party has never done anything to initiate that, to take it off the backs of the homeowners. And they continue to allow charter schools to flourish. They continue to allow the public school system to be defunded. They continue to bring bills forward that defund the police, that take away women's rights, take away voters' rights. They play musical chairs, they circle around and they change positions and they worry about perpetuating their own self-existence in politics instead of doing things that help the residents of the county that they represent. We ask the state to come here and tell us what you're working on and what bills you've passed and how it positively impacts the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Mahoning County. And not one, other than Laura McNally, has come here and tell us about the bills that are being passed and the ones that she can't get initiated because she's the minority party. So have any of those bills that they have passed, and from what I remember reading is both in Congress and in the state, the fewest amount of bills ever passed in a session last year. And I thought it was both, or it may have been one or the other. I may be.
Ralph said that in the state of the county.
Yeah,
It's
the least amount of bills passed. Oh, and what are they? What's important to us? Having an ambulance show up? You know, the red and blue that's important to me that I like to say all the time is police and fire. That's the red and blue we should be worried about. You know, public safety, ambulances, you know, taking care of the people that live in our county and our communities. And what happens? The local communities have to continually come back to the well for local levies to fill the voids of the money that's been depleted from the state level. The state budget has increased leaps and bounds. They started defunding the sheriff's department in 2018, and the countywide loss in sales tax of the inaction of the state legislature has cost the justice tax almost $30 million. So, you know, when you look at things and you know, you need to know what's going on when we can't get anybody to tell us what they're working on or what they're doing. You know, so it's a travesty that we continue to have to go back to the voters and plug holes and local communities. You know, the godsend was the federal money through ARPA that gave us the ability to plug holes and let people catch up. But outside of that, you know, you'd have so many things that were left undone. So, you know, I hope people make people accountable, you know, what's happening, what's going on. You know, you can come here every day and ask us what's being worked on, what we voted on. You can see everything public. You know, the people that hide in Columbus and in Washington, you know, aren't really accountable. So, you know, it's really a shame because we've got to continue to look for different ways to fund so many different programs that are necessary and needed. You know, and Susan can, if we could hear, could probably tell you more about a lot of the veterans' needs, you know, that continue to be left undone as well. So it's important to know what's important to the people you put in office, so they're addressing the concerns of the community and not the concerns of their political livelihood. So that's
I agree.
that's my soapbox for today.
Agree with that.
Like that.
100%.
Can't agree more.
And you know what? Let me add one more caveat to that. And people are out there promoting to reduce our sales tax, right? And we don't, and the only thing you vote on for the sales tax is the justice fund.
That's right.
So the justice fund is 82% of the sheriff's department's funding, 82%. So it's a travesty that someone will go out there and just say the only thing that you get an ability to vote on, you should vote no on. And that is the only lifeline that we have to keep the jail open, the sheriff's department running. And we've gone out of our way to make sure that it's permanently funded. And now we have, you know, political pundits that want to take and reduce our sales tax and vote no on the justice tax, which, you know, is a travesty. If you don't vote for anybody, vote for the justice tax, because that's the most important thing that this county has right now. And the concern of is to make sure that we fund the justice tax. I know Audrey would have said that.
Yes,
Or I would.
thank you, because I was
So-
gonna say, don't forget that. Thank you, I appreciate it.
That'd be
Okay,
a
I'm sorry.
that'd be a $30 million haircut to Mahoning County. Who would want to be here? Without the sales tax, you don't have county government. And Dave's right. But you know, another point that people are sick of is the fact of this inflation. Inflation is killing us. It's killing us in the grocery stores. It's killing us with our investments. I mean, it's killing everything on top of the things that Dave has mentioned. And, you know, it'll come to a breaking point where a person only has so much money. You know, you only have so much money. And, you know, you keep cutting and you keep cutting, you keep cutting, you know, fuel. I mean, bacon's up I don't know, 100%. I mean, I cannot believe some of these prices and milk
That's
and
okay.
eggs. Right.
Yeah, the
It's
feds,
federal government, but it all affects
us.
our pocketbooks.
You know what,
It all bothers us.
I started taking pictures of the gas price because 2 weeks ago, I remember talking to an Austintown police officer when we were standing side by side pumping gas at Sheetz. And I said, oh my God, 220? It was 220. And I said, that's amazing. That's the lowest I remember being. He goes, yeah, he says, we blink our eye and it'll change again. I said, you're right. And I went and got gas this morning at Sheetz, 320, 320.
It jumped
It was
that much.
$1 from what it was 2 weeks ago. I haven't looked at the crude oil cost, but I'll bet it hasn't gone up $1 a barrel in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So you're right about inflation, but I'd say 90% of it's generated from price gouging from corporate America.
Oh,
Right.
no
You're
question.
exactly.
So
right.
It's a billionaire's game now.
$1 a gallon increase in 2 weeks.
And the oil industry is what's doing it. If you look at the batch plant is on industrial, where Sheetz gets their gas or fills their tanks up. And I look at that, and I'm thinking of the trucks going in, like, and then they usually go around 11 at night, and they're in there all day, all night long, driving through, getting that gas. I'm thinking to myself, I'm just wondering what they charge, what the price is going to the gas station, and then the owner of the gas station, what the price delivered to us is. You know, it's just crazy. You gotta look at, I mean, isn't that a shame when you gotta drive around, and look and see what the cheapest gas in Mahoning County is?
It's not even worth it.
Drive across the line into that communist nation,
Yes,
you know, they're even like really high.
they're high. Even down Columbiana, they're
But how
high.
could you do that though? How in the heck could you say Mahoning County's 220? You go over to PA and it's 320. You go to Columbus, it's 420. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, I talked to my buddies in California a lot, in San Diego, and he said they pay over $5 a gallon. You know, and it's goofy.
Try getting gas payer and look at the seniors in Mahoning County. I would say we're close to 68 to 70% over 55, partially over 60. A lot of the people are retired, and then you look at what they have to pay. I mean, just think about it. Groceries, insurances, gas. I mean, how do you stretch your
Healthcare.
retirement? And healthcare is the big one.
Yeah, that'll put you in a
I mean,
grave quick.
I mean, this is crazy that our country, our congressionals, our Senate, Columbus can't get their head out of their, you know what, start working for us. I mean, this is crazy. They've made that too political. Once you get elected, you belong to all of us. Too political.
I think we all feel the same pain. Best solution I think I would offer, start drilling, start making refineries. Come on. 90% of our economies runs off petroleum, doesn't run off the sun or the wind. So start drilling, you'll see those prices come down. Okay, Nancy, our next meeting,
It's Thursday, right here.
next Thursday. Very good. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Kind of having fun. I think I'm even stay. Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Audrey's ready to, yes. Thank you.